Getting ready to leave for work. There's Julie. Leaving our little apartment, which is where we have lived for the last little bit. It's Christmas. Yay. I like our Christmas tree. Nearly a full year of these posts. There are some days when it's really tricky, so I thought I would multitask today and let you see my commute to work. Thankfully, it's a walk. So this is my walk to work. And I thought I would just share some thoughts with you. Over the course of this year, I've been working my philosophy out in real time with you, and hopefully you've seen a shape to it. It's funny how, for me, my understanding, it came into being and into substance before I could describe it. It was like something real in my life before I could put words to it. This year I've been trying to put words to it, and I hope you've seen the shape of it. It really boils down to something kind of simple. It's a shift from a life that is based on a circumstance, on whether that's, the way things are going in my life, or the circumstance of some sort of life narrative that I tell myself. So, for example, the Christian narrative, of course, was my narrative for a long time. But that could be just my narrative of retiring at some certain age, or getting a house, or whatever my thing is. And what I discovered, which I think is what everyone discovered, is the fact that no story, no circumstance is a solid basis for your foundation. My Christian narrative didn't hold up to, like life, the rigors of life, and whatever your way that you sort of put your life together, when it gets through the actual test of life, they crack. And that's how I describe this in my little poem. I was a preacher, a professor, a God-splainer, a rock. Then my high pulpit crumbled. I thought I would land, but I just kept falling. That was how it felt to me. But so the shift is from this circumstantial based life to an existential based life, which the foundation of my life is not circumstance, but a fundamental yes to life that is based not on my circumstances, but on my existence. It's like in the, this is a cool barn, by the way, I just got to show you, but in the old way, it was kind of like if I could make things make sense, if I could get life in order, then everything was okay. So the yes was conditional on my circumstance or on my theory or philosophy. And now it's the other way around. I start with yes, and then the story or the expression of my life becomes the expression of this foundational yes. Now, I know that is kind of, it's just a little fragmented how I'm sharing this with you. And I'm working right now on a class, a way to say this in a way that I'm hoping will be something that other people can use, maybe you, but just something to help people make this shift. I can say I have made this shift, and it's been really amazing for me. But in terms of explaining it or trying to help, like my family, my wife, to say, like, what have you, how do you do this or whatever? I'm working to come up with a clear expression of this shift that I can share with people. And so I've got a class I'm putting together, and I'm feeling good about how this is taking shape. So you can look for that coming in 2026. You've heard me talk a lot about the specters this year and about the three movements. The specters are just my word for these things that we all see but try to pretend aren't there. One of them is that we are lost. We do not have answers to the questions we most long to know. And I call that inyarus, like ignorance. The second one is the fact that no matter how hard we try, no matter how hard we work to get things set up, we can't reach the happy ending. There's always something that brings us to vanity. And so the second specter is vanitas. And the third one is, in spite of our desire to live in a world where everything's just in harmony, the world is based on predation, and that applies to us too. And it doesn't mean it's not beautiful and we can't harmonize and stuff, but there's just this, man, people can be so ridiculous. So in summary, we are lost in this world. We are longing for an ending we can never reach, and we are lonely because we feel this alienation in spite of our best efforts to connect with people, even with the people we love the most. So every morning I think about these things. I practice this breathing technique, and I just try to really face the specters and embrace my life, to start with that yes. This morning it was all about the second movement, which is facing vanitas. And in the face of vanitas, it's tempting to despair and then try to fix things. So it's tempting in the face of life's futility to turn to despair and repair. Something's wrong, I'll fix it. You try to fix it, and then something else falls apart, and so you try to fix it. Despair, repair. That is a miserable cycle that I think we all understand. The alternative, the existential shift in the face of vanitas, is to turn to acceptance and play. So I look at my life, I see there are things that always fall apart. I accept that that's the way it is. That's facing up to vanitas. And in the face, after I accept that, well, what am I going to do? Well, I say that I am going to play. I'm not going to just give up. See, what hit me today is just that acceptance is not apathy. Accepting that life is this way is not the same as saying, well, what's the point of anything? Acceptance is saying, this is life. And I, in the face of vanitas, I say yes to life. That's how it is. I say yes, let's go play. And play can sound sort of like lightweight too, but it's not. When you're playing something, you're like all in. To play is to check in. It's not to check out. So I'm in, and I'm playing to win, and it's fun, and I'm engaged in life. And see, so my play is the real world embrace of my acceptance. It's the expression of my existential yes. The existential yes is acceptance. The real world way of expressing it is play. And so I do my very best to enter every day in a spirit of play. But again, acceptance is not apathy, and play is not checking out. Acceptance is an embrace of life, and play is checking into the game. I'm in today. Normally I walk through Safeway, but since you're on a tour with me, I'll walk to our somewhat famous, I don't know, our holiday Christmas tree in St. Helena is made of wine barrels. Yeah, here I am walking up toward the Christmas tree in St. Helena, which, wine country, is made of these, I guess, beautiful stack of wine barrels. And now I'm getting onto Main Street. Oh yeah, one other thing about play that struck me today is that I always have this desire to get control of my life, to get the pieces set up, to get everything in order so that, I can sort of rest on my life. And they're keeping these curveballs thrown at me. It's vanitas, right? But it's the big one for me just recently is that we're moving. we're going to be leaving our apartment I showed you and moving into a little house, which is really wonderful. We have a nice person who's given us rent we can afford in this little house, and we're so excited about it. But man, what a pain in the neck, and it's just disrupting my life left and right. So in the face of disruption and change and chaos, still it's got to be acceptance and play. I'm not I don't like give up because I can't control my life. I'm in. I accept this and I'm in. I check into this game, I play. Nearly there. I get to walk past the post office to Rianda House, the senior center where I work, which is right next to the post office. Here it is, just in case you want to see. That's the whole thing. It's just this little house. It's really cool, though. It's a really fun place to work. The older adults who come to Rianda House are very much with it, and a lot of them are really just amazing people. I've enjoyed this job very much. So I hope you've enjoyed my walk to work. A little chaotic. Again, hopefully some little more focused content coming to you in next year. Help you enter this existential way of life, make the shift to an existential-based existence, which again for me has just been amazing. Hope you're got some good holiday plans. Talk to you soon.